We're going to show you how to put the grill guard on the new 2019 Chevy half-ton truck. We'll actually show you how to do the ones for the sensor bar also while we're doing it all. First thing, pop the hood. This little hood latch on here, you need to go ahead and take it out. Unfortunately, to get to your upper bolt for your upper bracket, you got to take the grill out of this truck. So to do that, you need to take this little handle off. There's two of little star wrench screws there to get that off of there. So just go ahead and get the little hood latch handle off right away. And then in order to get this little thing out, you just use a little regular screwdriver and you can pop these little things up. There's 10 of them. They're just little pegs that hold it in. We've kind of played with it a little bit, so we ain't got them all in. Make this a little faster. They're going to be like that. You just pop it up, the screwdriver, and then you can pop it up all the way out of there. And then that thing just removes very easily like that. So the grill's a little bit more of a trickier deal. On the very top, there's 4 little 10mm screws that you need to take loose. Right here, there's 4 of them there. And then what I do is I start with the bottom. It's just little clips that you just got to pop out. And I do each bottom like that on each side first. And you just pop that bottom out. And then I'll come to the center right here and pull a little bit too. I think I already got this one loose. Once you've got that, just do one side at a time. Lift this up a little bit right there, and then you can finish popping that loose. And I'll go to the other side. If you got somebody on the other side, it kind of helps. That way somebody, now I've already got this side loose, so you can see it comes off of there, okay? And the grill will pop straight out. And what you're trying to pop loose is these little guys right here, just popping these little inserts, and you're just pulling them straight out. Just go slow, it'll be all right. But if you got somebody else, it makes it a little bit easier. And the reason you have to take that grill out is because they put the bumper on ahead of time. There's some plastic right here that you got to get to. I think I used a screwdriver. I forgot that I did that. Get that plastic up. And right here's the bolt that you're trying to get to. Okay, I kind of actually got the bracket here for this other side, so I'm going to go this other side. And you're trying to get that, you got to take that bolt out to put this bracket on. So if you take that bolt out right there, put that bracket down there, and you put that bolt back in and tighten it back up. And I wouldn't put the grill back in until after you get the grill guard done. That way if you need to loosen and move or whatever like that, you can still get to it. Because you can actually put that grill in after you got the guard on this thing. Okay, there's your upper bracket. We'll show you how all that's attached in a bit. We'll do that here in a second to make it a little easier. You don't have to watch us do all the little details. You got a lower bracket like this. Okay, this is the one that's going to face to the outside of your truck. And the flange on your grill guard is always going to go on the outside edge of your frame, on the outside of your frame. This tow hook here has got 2 bolts that hold it on. First thing you need to do is go underneath there. I believe they're 18mm. You need to go ahead and remove those bolts. And this tow hook just jerks straight out of there, okay? Once you've got that tow hook out of there, you're gonna actually have to notch some down here. I would show you how to notch it, but we can't because we borrowed this truck and we gotta send this truck back like it is. So that's why you're not gonna be able to see me notch it, unfortunately. We're gonna actually have to take the bumper off and take the plastic off so we can mount our bracket. That way we can put it all back together and send it back to the dealership as it is. And when we get the bumper off, we can actually show you how to get the sensors out. These center 2 sensors are going to have to come out on your sensor bar grill guard. So we'll show you how to get that out because unfortunately you can't get sensors out without taking the bumper off of there. But again, we're going to take all this off of there. Once you get the tow hook out of there, and we're going to show you that bolts that hold that thing on there, you'll be able to see exactly where this notch is, because this is going to go exactly up against the bottom of the frame. This is going to go to the side of the frame, so you'll be able to see the frame and you'll be able to know exactly where to notch right there. There's a hole. The pre-existing bolts, one side's only going to use one hole, and the other side's going to use both holes because they actually use the bolts from both sides. So the other side's not going to have the flange on the inside. It's going to be on both outsides, so one side's only going to have one. You will use this bolt right here though, and we're going to show you how that's bolted on shortly. There's a hole in the bottom of the frame and you're going to bolt to the bottom of the frame on that hole right there. So we're going to take that bumper off and I'll show you how the brackets are mounted. Bolts out of the tow hook. Now we can show you how they came out. It'll be a little easier that way. Once you get the bolts out, you're going to have two of them like this. One little one in the back and a big one that goes all the way through with the nut on the other side. But once you get those bolts out, you see it's loose, but it's got a little cover right there which is going to come off. It's not going to go back on. You get just jerk it out like that. And you can see the back of the tow hook gets that little bolt, and the front of the tow hook gets the long one. And it's the passenger side that's actually going to use both holes in that bracket. When you get to the driver's side, you're only going to use one of the holes in there because this back bolt on the tow hook, both bolts always come from the passenger side to the driver's side, so the other side's only going to have that long one on there to use one of the holes on there. But you will see two, so don't worry about it. You're only going to use one, but you will use that bottom bolt right there to the bottom of the frame. So that's how the tow hook goes on there. You can see, now you can see in there that little plastic cover drops out, and you can see right there where you're going to need the notch, because you'll see how it steps down a little bit to allow the tow hook to go back in there. That way you keep the tow hook in there, and that tow hook drops down a little bit, so we have to do the same thing to the bracket. That's why it's got the drop down. So you'll have the notch just a little bit on the plastic right there. Not a lot, just a little bit. But again, we can't do that. This one's got to go back to the dealership, so that's how you do that. We bolted the brackets up as we showed you how, and you put your tow hook back on. You see how the tow hook's back on there. Again, the passenger side, we had those two side bolts. But then the main one right there too, you've got to make sure that center one in there is up underneath there. You got to make sure that that goes to the bottom of the frame and the bracket too, okay? And again, the driver's side only had one side bolt because that's how the bolts work out on the tow hook that way. And then your top brackets we got on there, we got them mounted and all that. So now we're just going to go ahead and put the grille guard up. You see we got the guard up there. You got two 1/2 by 1 3/4 bolts down there at the bottom. You got another 1/2 by 1 3/4 bolt up here at the top on that upper bracket that we have here. To make the guard easier to hang is what we did. You set that tab on top of that upper bracket. It kind of helps you hang the guard there so you get it lined up. But whenever we're lining it up, we get all the bolts in loose like, and then what I do is take a tape measure and measure from the side of the truck to the what we call the loops here and get the same side to side. You can get a jack under each side to make sure it's the same height, and I'll get them straight in the middle of it and make sure that this one's actually easier to do by the bottom. Make sure the bottom of your loop is the same level from side to side with your fender, and that's how I line it up. But once you get it lined up, get everything snug on there, check your alignment one more time, and you can tighten it up. All the bolts, check all the bolts. You can see we had to take this off again. We said a little bit earlier because we can't notch everything, so that's why we kind of took the plastic off, because the guard's got to go back to the vehicle for the dealership. The vehicle does. This is a non-sensor guard here. You see the strap right here. This is for the ones without any sensors. We can show you how to put the sensors in the sensor bar here too shortly. We're going to have a sensor bar here on one with the sensors, but if you don't see that in there and see the full strap, that's for the ones with no sensors. And that's the install on the non-sensor 2019 Chevy. With the bumper off the truck, you can kind of see how to get to the sensors easier than us trying to do it up underneath. This is where your bolts were on your top right here that you're going to put that bracket to. That's where that bracket goes. Then this one here is the bottom one here, but again, you don't have to take the bumper off of there. In order to get that sensor out, I put my hand on the front side of the sensor, and you take a screwdriver and you pry right there. And there we go, not working with me. That little red thing right there, pull that little red thing back, and right behind the red thing there's that black plastic. You just push down and the sensor comes apart, okay? But this is right in the center of the truck, right between your frame, right where that bolt's in there, right in the frame. You can get up underneath there and get to your sensors that way. So then you're going to go ahead and take your sensor harness right there out. Not your harness, but the front little piece, and you're going to put it in your sensor bar on your grille guard.